Hi, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time of day it is for you. I wanted to say hello. Thank you for joining me today, and thank you for deciding to follow me along this journey. I am a sexual abuse survivor, and I wanted to share my story because a lot of people don't really. And my first video is basically gonna be like my history of abuse. And then from then on, I want you to go on the journey with me as I try to find true healing, because I've just kind of been dealing with it, not dealing with it. I just been kind of coasting as if it goes away, as if it just disappears or something. And it doesn't disappear. It's gonna keep showing up. It's gonna show up in your patterns. It's gonna show up in your habits as a person. And that's what I've recently learned. I have a very unhealthy cycle. So for starters, everything started when I was very, very young. And honestly, I can say that it was younger than I could even remember. I knew that my abuse started when I was extremely young, but when I read up on the behaviors and the thought processes, and especially because I work with kids, and so I have to read all the time signs of abuse in children, and that part of my job, it was touchy for me, because it was like I was that kid, like I felt those things. So I was abused all the way from super itty bitty, a little itty bitty girl, all the way until about 6th grade. It was a family member who was sexually abusive, and he was sexually abusive to me. He was also sexually abusive to my sister. I was never, ever, 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 ever brave enough to speak up. I was always scared. He would tell me, I'm your mom's favorite person. I'm your mom's best friend. It would break her heart if I had to go away. You better not say anything. Thankfully, one of my siblings was much stronger than I was and was able to tell somebody. Was able to tell my mom, actually. That was years of I felt really boxed in, I was a very quiet kid, but my thoughts were so loud. He was always around the kids, because he had something to hide, and he wanted to make sure none of us talked to each other about it, make sure none of us talked to adults about it. He definitely made sure we felt fear, and I was definitely scared. I never told anyone. I was just so, you feel uncomfortable, you feel really weird. This man, he taught me how to take a bath. He would sit in there while I'm taking a bath, sitting there while I'm taking a shower. And I didn't even know, as a female, you don't supposed to be digging soap up in your privates and stuff like that. I still get worked up. I still get angry. I feel disgusted, because it's just it's sick. He was sick. So I dealt with that all the way until 6th grade. So then that led to a life of premature sexuality. Became yes, son? Say hi.
Hi.
Once I got to the age of being in high school, my interest in boys really peaked. I was not getting no type of attention whatsoever. And that's okay, you know what I mean? But at that age, I was not happy with that at all. So I kind of dug into, I don't know how they correlated, but that's kind of how my sexuality blossomed, was because I was well, I got a lot of attention from my uncle. That's how my uncle showed me attention and stuff like that. So I'm maybe, that's how men think. That's what boys want, So I started to use my sexuality as a way to get the attention from boys that I really wasn't getting otherwise. It was all internal and quiet turmoil that I was going through, which this leads to another abuse situation. Being young and having sex, you have young boys that have curiosity, and they want to use pens and pencils and just random regular household stuff and put it in your privates just to see, and that's the most it makes you feel small. It makes you feel disgusting. You feel uncomfortable. This dude's house, and that was the first mistake. Every time, which I can say now looking back, is being in another element, not my own element. I feel more afraid. I feel more fear. I feel less chance of a survival. So, you know, he's like, give me a hug, give me a hug. So I give him a hug, and it's all dainty. Like, I don't really want to hug this man. So then he started, come on, give me a hug. So, you know, I hug him, and then, of course, he starts grabbing me tighter and tighter. And then from there, you know what happens. This is hard stuff to deal with. This is one of my things. Either no eye contact, which kind of looking at the lenses kind of makes eye contact, so you see I'm doing all this. Eye contact and smiling is my thing. That's when I'm like, yeah, I'm okay. No, I'm not okay. I lived with my cousin and his roommates, and I worked at a restaurant. When I worked late shift, I don't know, it was very surprising to me if they were home. I didn't have a key because I wasn't supposed to live there more than a couple of weeks. Me and my cousin were supposed to move out. One night, nobody was home, nobody was answering. Either they weren't answering, or they were out of town. Everybody was unavailable. So I was stuck outside for, when I say hours, I mean like a ridiculous amount of time. So at the end of each hall, there was a washer and dryer. So I sat on the washing machine, and I was always locked outside, so it was not uncommon for neighbors to see me. They offered to let me come up and wait inside. When I went there, I didn't think it would be any alternative motives, but of course, this man starts to want to be sexual and stuff, and I was very uncomfortable. My tactic of survival is to be compliant. Just go with whatever he says. So he said he wanted to do that, and I was just like, well, you didn't leave me, what I say, well, you didn't leave me outside, so, and he was like, oh, you're so sweet. Am I? So that happened. I was crying during, and then afterwards, like, I ran out, and my cousin was home. So when I got inside, I just sat in the bathroom for such a long time, and I just cried. So after that instant, then I remember hanging out with everybody, basically at like a kind of kickback kind of party kind of thing. And you know how it is, you like to dance with people, and it used to be fun. You know, it's so fun when they be like, oh, you better quit, girl, you better quit, you know. So I remember dancing with this guy and everything, and we even would kiss and stuff like that. But when he would be trying to touch on me, like on my privates and do all that, I would be uncomfortable. I would be like, no, like, that's not what I want to do. So this was, I would say, would be one of my worst situations, simply because like I was like choked. Like we would be kissing and stuff, and then he would try to touch me, and I'd be like, you know, no. So then we'll kiss again, and he'll try again, and I'll be like, no. So eventually I stood up, and I was like, yeah, like, I'm cool, like, I'm ready to get going, and, you know. So he would get up, and he'll grab my neck, and he'll squeeze it right here. And, you know, I would get pressure. You know, you get pressure above your whole head, and I would stop resisting, and then, like, once he would relax, then I would start resisting again, and when I would resist, then he would choke. And as he was choking me, he was leading me to the bathroom. I'm going backwards up the stairs, and he's like pushing me up the stairs by my neck. I'm scared because, you know, this man, obviously he's aggressive, you know. And he's obviously, there's other people here, so he's obviously not afraid to, like, anything, because he's choking me, like, up the stairs, and, like, nobody's around, you know. So we get up to the restroom, and, you know, he turns me around, and I sneak a text to somebody that I know. Like, I put, like, SOS, like, help me. And, like, nobody came. So he's doing what he does, and then when he was done, he's like, now clean this up, And I was like, I don't want to do this. Now he could hear me. Now what I say matters. So he like left out the house fast, and I ran out of the house too, but the other way. I ran out crying because I'm like, did this really just happen? Like, I felt humiliated when I was hanging out with this gentleman, and I told him before I got there, like, I don't want to come through because I don't want to do anything sexual. I really don't. No, come on, we just chilling. Like, no, I'm not kidding. I really don't want to do anything. That's okay. Come through. It's good. Get over there. We're just talking. We're drinking, but we're just talking. We're just talking. It's not a big deal. Then like he's like, oh, why you babysitting? You're not drinking fast enough. Drink. And if you're already drinking, so you're tipsy, and you got somebody telling you you're babysitting, you finna be like, I'm babysitting. I'm gonna show you a babysitter. But basically the point is he like kept pouring. Like, I'm drinking, but he's pouring, so it looks like my cup is going nowhere. So of course I end up plastered, and then he gets to saying like, all right, yeah, let's go to the room and stuff, and let's watch TV, and so we went to watch TV, and then he was trying to be sexual and have me touch on him, and I'm like, I already told you that I didn't want to do this kind of stuff. And then he would just kept like, well, this is your audition. This is your audition to see if you make the cut, and blah, blah, blah. And I don't know how, I don't know. It just sucks that I'm not this like, how, there's females out there that's like, what? Boy, don't do it, and they're so confident, and they have this, I can't even explain. They have this zero tolerance policy. That's where I want to be. I want to have a zero tolerance policy. Yeah, I'm getting there. I have about a 5 tolerance policy. I used to be at about a 10. I'm about at a 5 now. My mind leaves first, then my spirit will leave, then my body will leave. Like, it goes like that. I can't do it just all at once. I kind of just skimmed over every instance because I just want to give a quick history, a quick background of the journey that I'm trying to heal from. I want you to see, and I want you to know that you are not alone. This stuff is scary, and it feels like everybody can just, it feels like when people look at you, it feels like your body's full of words of like everything that happened to you. It feels like it's just all, like you just wear it everywhere. Everywhere you go, it gives you this feeling of not being good enough. It gives you this feeling of discomfort, this feeling of fear, and this is something that I'm trying to heal from because I have an unhealthy pattern in my life that I realize that I do stuff that honestly I'm ashamed. Oh my God, I can't believe I just did this. I can't believe I did that. I can't believe I am shame, regret, guilt. And I am tired. I'm tired of feeling shame. I'm tired of feeling guilt. I'm tired of feeling embarrassed. I'm tired of being scared all the time. Survivors, stay strong. I'll see you next time. There we go. That's the one.